Have you ever wondered if there's more to life than meets the eye? What if I told you there was once a discipline, part science, part mysticism, that promised to uncover the universe's deepest secrets? A practice so profound that it inspired legends of turning lead into gold, creating elixirs of eternal life, and even achieving spiritual enlightenment. This isn't the plot of a fantasy novel. This is the story of alchemy. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden history of alchemy, an ancient tradition that bridges the gap between science and the esoteric. Together, we'll unravel its origins, explore the lives of its mysterious practitioners, and discover why its teachings remain as relevant and misunderstood as ever. Ready to embark on this journey? Let's begin. To understand alchemy, we must first strip away the myths and approach its core. Alchemy isn't just about mysterious potions or ancient labs filled with bubbling flasks. It's a holistic understanding of the universe. At its heart lies the belief that everything in existence is governed by 7 key principles, the 4 classical elements: fire, water, air, and earth, and 3 alchemical substances: sulfur, mercury, and salt. These elements and substances weren't merely physical. They represented universal archetypes. Fire symbolized transformation and passion, while water embodied emotion and intuition. Sulfur, often seen as the fiery soul, contrasted with mercury, the adaptable spirit. Together, they painted a picture of how the material and spiritual worlds are intertwined. Take a moment to reflect on this. What if the secrets of the cosmos could be understood by studying the interplay of these forces? Alchemists believed so. They worked tirelessly to decode nature's mysteries, blending science, philosophy, and spirituality. But where did this enigmatic practice begin? Alchemy was practiced on 3 levels, each reflecting a different approach to its mysteries. Speculative alchemists. Imagine a quiet scholar surrounded by ancient texts. These theorists explored the philosophical dimensions of alchemy, contemplating its meanings and implications. They saw alchemy as a metaphor for self-transformation, a journey from ignorance to wisdom, akin to turning lead into gold. Spiritual alchemists. These practitioners weren't content with theory. They sought to merge with the divine through rituals, meditations, and symbolic practices. Picture a mystic performing ceremonies under the moonlight, striving to align their soul with the cosmos. Laboratorial alchemists. Perhaps the most iconic, these were the experimenters. Hidden in dimly lit labs, they distilled, melted, and combined substances, aiming to create the legendary Philosopher's Stone, or uncover the secrets of matter. Each of these alchemists contributed to the rich tapestry of alchemical history. Consider Nicholas Flamel, a name surrounded by both fact and fiction. Legend has it that he discovered the Philosopher's Stone, achieving unimaginable wealth and wisdom. But was Flamel a true alchemist, or simply a clever scribe whose name was woven into myth? We'll uncover more as we proceed. Alchemy's origins trace back over 3,000 years to ancient Egypt. It was here, in the shadow of the pyramids, that the legendary figure Thoth, later known as Hermes Trismegistus, was said to have brought divine knowledge to humanity. The Greeks adopted these teachings, blending them with their philosophies and giving rise to Hermeticism. Fast forward to medieval Europe, and alchemy underwent another transformation. It became a secretive art, shrouded in allegory to evade persecution from religious authorities. During the Renaissance, alchemy flourished as it intersected with early science. Figures like Roger Bacon and Isaac Newton straddled the line between alchemist and scientist, proving that alchemy was as much about discovery as it was about mysticism. But here's a thought. What if alchemy wasn't just a precursor to science, but a parallel tradition that sought answers science couldn't provide? Modern thinkers like Carl Jung saw alchemy as a guide to understanding the human psyche, a map for navigating the unconscious. The Philosopher's Stone is arguably alchemy's most famous symbol, but its true nature remains elusive. Was it a literal substance capable of transforming metals into gold, or a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment? Perhaps both. Medieval texts describe the stone as the culmination of the great work, a lengthy process requiring immense skill, patience, and understanding. Basilius Valentinus, a 15th century monk, left behind cryptic instructions known as the 12 Keys. Each key described a stage of transformation, blending poetic language with practical chemistry. But alchemy wasn't just about gold. The elixir of life, said to grant immortality, was another goal. What if these pursuits weren't literal, but symbolic? Could the gold represent purity of spirit, and the elixir, a life lived in harmony with nature? Alchemy's language is rich with symbols, each layered with meaning. The Ouroboros, a serpent eating its tail, represents the eternal cycle of life and death. Mercury, ever-changing and fluid, symbolizes transformation and adaptability. But why such cryptic imagery? Alchemists used symbols to protect their secrets, ensuring that only the worthy could decipher them. These symbols weren't just codes, they were teaching tools, guiding initiates toward deeper truths. Consider this. If you stumbled upon an alchemical manuscript filled with strange symbols, would you see it as an ancient puzzle or a gateway to hidden knowledge? Though alchemy's golden age has passed, its influence persists. Modern chemistry owes much to alchemical experiments. Techniques like distillation and crystallization were pioneered by alchemists. Psychology, too, draws from alchemy. Carl Jung viewed alchemical symbols as representations of the psyche, tools for self-discovery. And in pop culture, alchemy continues to captivate, from Harry Potter's Nicholas Flamel to the philosophical musings of Fullmetal Alchemist. But alchemy isn't just history. Its principles of transformation, balance, and unity remain relevant. In a world obsessed with material progress, alchemy reminds us to seek spiritual harmony. Alchemy teaches that transformation begins within. Just as lead becomes gold through patience and perseverance, we too can refine our inner selves. The great work isn't about wealth or power. It's about realizing our fullest potential. Did you know that some modern researchers believe alchemical practices might hold hidden connections to quantum mechanics? In recent years, documentaries like The Alchemy of Life and books by theorists such as Patrick Harpur have revisited the notion of alchemy, not just as proto-chemistry, but as a precursor to modern physics. For instance, the concept of transmutation, a cornerstone of alchemy, can be compared to the transformation of particles at the quantum level. In 2019, archaeologists unearthed what they believed to be ancient alchemical labs in Egypt, revealing tools and texts that suggest a sophisticated understanding of chemistry far ahead of its time. These findings include remnants of compounds that were once thought to be mythical, such as aurum potabi, a legendary liquid gold believed to have healing properties. Could these ancient experiments have been the earliest forms of nanotechnology? As you ponder this, let me ask, if alchemists were experimenting with matter at a microscopic level centuries ago, what else might they have discovered that we've yet to understand? One of the most mysterious aspects of alchemy is its reliance on manuscripts and cryptic texts. Take the Voynich manuscript, for example, an undeciphered book filled with strange symbols, plants, and diagrams that some believe holds the secrets of alchemical practices. Though its origins remain debated, certain scholars link it to Renaissance alchemists who encoded their discoveries to keep them hidden from the church. And then there's the legendary Tabula Smaragdina, or Emerald Tablet, said to be written by Hermes Trismegistus himself. Its most famous phrase, "as above, so below," is often interpreted as a guide to understanding the interconnectedness of the macrocosm and microcosm, the universe and the human soul. What if these texts weren't just philosophical musings, but blueprints for unlocking universal truths? Imagine stumbling upon one of these lost manuscripts. What secrets could they reveal about not only the past but the future? What if alchemy was more than an ancient art? Imagine it as an early blueprint for sustainable technology. For instance, the Philosopher's Stone is described as a substance capable of purifying and perfecting materials. Today we're exploring materials like graphene and other nanostructures that could revolutionize energy storage and production. Could the alchemists have been envisioning a prototype for modern clean energy? Or consider the notion of creating life, one of alchemy's ultimate goals. This aligns eerily with contemporary bioengineering. Projects like synthetic biology aim to design organisms from scratch. If alchemists were alive today, could their work inspire breakthroughs in creating sustainable ecosystems or even terraforming other planets? Reflect on this. Could alchemy be humanity's earliest attempt to achieve the very future we're now racing toward? Alchemy wasn't confined to Europe. In ancient China, Taoist alchemists sought immortality through elixirs and meditation, paralleling the spiritual pursuits of their Western counterparts. Meanwhile, in India, the practice of rasayana aimed to prolong life and enhance spiritual power, closely mirroring alchemical traditions. And let's not forget the Aztecs and their sacred practices, which included metallurgical techniques that some believe had alchemical roots. These cross-cultural similarities suggest a shared human curiosity about transformation and transcendence. Could alchemy be a universal language, spanning civilizations that never met but dreamed the same dreams? What do you think? Are these parallels a coincidence, or do they point to a deeper, shared understanding of existence? Alchemy has captivated modern audiences through books, films, and games. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter introduced millions to Nicholas Flamel, sparking a renewed interest in alchemical lore. Meanwhile, anime like Fullmetal Alchemist explore profound moral questions inspired by alchemy, such as the cost of transformation and the ethics of creating life. Even in video games, alchemy plays a central role. Think the Witcher series, where crafting potions is both a mechanic and a nod to historical practices. These representations don't just entertain, they keep the spirit of alchemy alive, prompting new generations to explore its mysteries. Which depiction of alchemy has resonated most with you? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. Throughout our exploration, you might find yourself wondering, what parts of alchemy are pure myth and what might hold truth? Do you think alchemists achieved more than history credits them for, or are these stories exaggerated over time? If you've been intrigued by today's journey, let us know in the comments. Share your favorite alchemical mystery or even your theory about what the Philosopher's Stone might represent. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to continue the conversation. You might be asking, if alchemy was so advanced, why didn't it lead to modern science sooner? That's a great question. Many believe alchemy's secrecy, necessary to protect its practitioners, slowed its integration into mainstream knowledge. Others argue that its focus on spirituality over practicality kept it from evolving into pure science. Another common question is, did anyone ever really achieve transmutation? While no definitive proof exists, modern scientists have achieved nuclear transmutation, converting elements by altering their atomic structures. It's a reminder that alchemy's dreams weren't as far-fetched as they once seemed. Alchemy isn't just about transforming metals, it's also about transforming the self. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, delved deeply into alchemical texts, interpreting them as metaphors for psychological growth. He believed that the alchemical process mirrored the journey of individuation, a process of integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of the mind to achieve wholeness. For instance, the Nigredo stage of alchemy, symbolizing decay and darkness, aligns with moments of personal struggle and shadow work. It's the painful but necessary phase where old beliefs and habits die to make way for growth. The final stage, Rubedo, represents enlightenment and balance, a harmonious union of opposites within oneself. Could the Philosopher's Stone, then, be a metaphor for self-actualization? And if so, what aspects of your life are waiting to be transmuted into gold? Reflecting on these ideas can offer profound insights into your own inner journey. While alchemy laid the groundwork for modern chemistry, its spiritual side remains equally captivating. Many alchemists believed their work wasn't just scientific, but divinely inspired. They saw the universe as a reflection of the Creator, with alchemy as a means to understand and align with that divine order. Some texts describe rituals and prayers performed before beginning an experiment, suggesting that alchemy was as much about intention as it was about technique. The famous Ripley Scroll, a 15th-century alchemical manuscript, speaks of the soul of materials, implying that alchemists sought not only to manipulate matter, but to connect with its essence. This mystical approach resonates with certain modern philosophies, such as those in quantum physics, which suggest that the observer influences the observed. Could alchemists have tapped into a universal truth about the interconnectedness of consciousness and reality? Let me leave you with this thought. If the universe is a grand alchemical experiment, where does humanity fit into the equation? Perhaps the great work is still unfolding, with each of us playing a part. So what do you think? Is alchemy a relic of the past or a timeless guide to understanding ourselves and the universe? Share your thoughts in the comments. And as we part ways, remember this. The real magic of alchemy isn't in its myths, it's in its message of transformation. Until next time, keep seeking the gold within.